Yo, what's up, guys? Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Caster, one of the HCS commentators, analysts, and grassroots content creators, and we have another top 5 power ranking for you guys. We're gonna be ranking the top 5 players in the league, and remember, it's gonna be top 5 right now. So, although we might draw some influence about what happened back the last time we were on land in Dallas, it's top 5 right now. So we're drawing heavy influence from tournaments, from the scrims that have been going on recently, because remember, we're talking about what's going on right now as opposed to what has happened, over a month ago. Speaking of which, the last time we actually did this video was a month ago, so we're going to see some major changes. I'll show you what the top 5 was. This was the top 5, literally, I think it was right before Dallas. We had this as a top 5, or maybe it might have been right after, no, it wasn't right after. It might have been maybe like a week or so after Dallas. Either way, it's been a while, and there's been a lot that's been going on. So we're going to heavily change this up. And, well, you know what? Why don't we start off with talking about FaZe? I think FaZe have been just so good. It really seems like the teams we got to talk about is FaZe, Shopify, SSG, and OpTic. Those are the 4 teams. And to be honest with you, Space Station Gaming will probably save for last, because I just feel like Space Station Gaming have just not looked as good as we want them to. I think FaZe have looked amazing, and with the lack of a sample size with Shopify Rebellion really haven't been scrimming that much. We got a scrim 2 days ago, then a scrim after that was, I mean, I don't know if they're hiding it or something, but I don't like. Literally, it was that scrim 2 days ago, and I don't see any other scrims with Shopify Rebellion. Shopify Rebellion have been chilling, so I feel like with the lack of a sample size with Shopify Rebellion, I feel like we're going to majorly focus on OpTic and FaZe within this top 5. So why don't we start on board with FaZe, and let's bring up a few different FaZe scrims. This is going to be huge. We're going to focus main on that OpTic and FaZe scrim right there. So I guess we'll save that for last. We'll save the OpTic versus FaZe one for last. So we'll start off with the one that I feel like maybe doesn't matter as much at all to me. I love Ether Gaming, but I feel like at this level of competition, I care more about some of the top teams in North America. And I mean the tippy top teams, really, such as OpTic Gaming, which we're going to save for last, but I don't want to ignore this whatsoever. So why don't we hop right into the stats? And yo, FaZe, first of all, this FaZe Penguin arc I've been loving. He's been streaming, and mind you, not even just like ranked streams, like he's been doing like a lot of social within his streams, which I've been absolutely loving. Like I think he's been even maybe playing with a few viewers as well it's just, I'm loving this arc from Penguin, and top as far as kills, very good, second place in assist, and damage, second place in damage for his team. And normally for a player that we expect to see to be that dirty work player that makes the plays that don't always show up on the stat sheet, this is an incredible stat line against Ether Gaming. I want to see exactly what the stats look like, because I feel like big in kills. Trippy also, big game Trip, looking very good in the kills department. And of course, Lucid, he's been doing this a lot lately. Not always top as far as kills, but always very good in kills, very good at assist as well, usually topping out in assist and topping out in damage, which I think is really important to me. Lucid has looked very good on his FaZe roster, and with the objective time, you got Trippy, not only secondary in slays and tertiary in damage, but also top in the list as far as oddball time. During the flag standoffs, it seems like Snakebite has the flag most of the time during the standoffs, and also getting the most steals as well, doing a lot of the objective work and capture the flag. King of the Hill doesn't show any stats for some reason, but Strongholds does. And Trippy, again, spending most of the time in the Strongholds, I think is worth ultimately talking about. I like what I'm seeing here, but again, when I'm judging this FaZe roster, I want to look more towards the top teams in North America as opposed to Ether Gaming. Ether Gaming, our number one team in Mexico, but mind you, they didn't even make it out of Open at Dallas. I think that's actually worth mentioning. So, we'll go into Redemption. Even Redemption really aren't at that level with FaZe just yet, but I do want to at least show that and just get like a little bit of consistency while we go into the OpTic versus FaZe scrim, because that's going to be most important. So once again, Trippy, very good in the kills department. This time secondary as far as damage dealt. Lucid, once again, max damage. This time secondary as far as kills. And Penguin coming into that third place spot, at least as far as the kills and damage department. And when we go into the objective time, oddball stats, this time Snakebite doing whatever it takes in order to win. He's gonna actually have most of that ball time here, where it's about even across the board. After that, capture the flag, Snakebite is tied with Penguin. Trippy actually having the most flag steals, and then we have Strongholds where most captures. Okay, Lucid doing some objective work. I love to see that. Lucid actually doing a lot of that objective work. I've been really impressed with what I'm seeing from Lucid so far. Back-to-back scrims where we see him top it out as far as the damage department. And to me, it's like not even like dumb damage. Not like him like just getting damage, just dying right away. Like you see the damage taken, 7,000 above what he's ultimately putting out. So it's not like he's just throwing away his life for the sake of damage like I see some of my matchmaking players do. I really have been liking what Lucid has been doing on his FaZe roster. We'll keep our eye out on that when we go into the big dogs, because this is what we care about. Optical Gaming going up against FaZe, and this time we're gonna talk about OpTic in a little bit. We're gonna focus this time on the FaZe roster, which again, Trippy looking very good in kills so far. Trippy has been that guy consistently within the first and second place as far as kills department. But again, I'm impressed with Lucid's damage. This time taking a lot more in return. I will point that out. But looking very good in the damage department, looking good in the slays and the assist. Again, really impressed with what Lucid has looked like so far on his FaZe roster. Snakebite again doing most of that oddball work. In the capture the flag, we have Trippy again with the most flag steals. Worth actually pointing out, Trippy and Lucid. So Lucid's been doing it in the pure damage department, but that's now multiple times that we've seen Trippy actually having the most flag steals as well. I think that's worth actually pointing out, even a little bit of the standoff time as well. And King of the Hill, once again, Trippy. And you guys know I like that. When I see really good slays and objective time as well, that's something I really take into account. So if I'm looking at this, if I'm also looking at this top five, which again, we'll just kind of mix it up here. My main focus is going to be Trippy and Lucid. Where's my man Lucid at? Oh, there we go. My main focus is going to be Trippy and Lucid when I'm looking at this FaZe roster. Lucid for the damage and consistent damage, kills, and assists. And then Trippy also being a secondary as far as a slayer, but also so good in the objective as well. That to me is important. So I'll be keeping my eye out on these two. I won't even rank it just yet. I want to see OpTic actually. So why don't we take down a few of these? And actually I took down the one that I wanted to look at as well. So with OpTic, let's bring up these OpTic scrims. OpTic have been looking dominant as to be expected. Been liking the way OpTic have been looking. It looks like we have 2 scrims to go on recently over the last week or so. We can even go deeper in the bag with OpTic because they've been around for. Let's see what OpTic are showing. And then the last point is actually grand final. Never mind. I guess we could bring up grand finals. And we'll go deep in the bag for this one. And we would bring up some land stats too, because land matters. Again, it's still going to be what we're talking about right now, but land definitely does matter. There we go. So now we got a little bit of everything here. So so let's see. With OpTic Gaming, we'll save this for last. And we'll talk about OpTic versus Complexity, focusing on OpTic Gaming. Renegade, Legend, just popping out at the screen at me. This has kind of been a winning formula for OpTic for a little while now. Renegade slaying out most slays, but not always the most damage, whether it's an entire best of 5 series, a best of 7 series, even, you know, a Scrims series, when he's ultimately getting the most kills on his team, but not necessarily the most damage, kind of really just activating on a lot of the call outs and the damage that his teammates are doing on the map. OpTic tend to win so much when it comes to that. Formal was consistently the main damage dealer, kind of both leading up into Dallas, a little bit after Dallas, and especially at Dallas. But this time it's actually Legend who leads slightly in that damage department. Everybody kind of, it's actually very even across the board, which, you know, I love to see that. As far as in the objective department, we see Formal actually doing a lot of the objective work. Love that coming out of Formal right there. Then kind of fairly even across the board afterwards. Renegade with a slight advantage there. Capture the flag. We got most steals coming out of Legend. Formal right behind them as far as most steals, we'll say that. And then Stronghold, excuse me. Legend once again being that major objective player for the roster, which is no surprise. Talk about all the time. I think Legend's role is very underrated on this squad. Like, they expect Legend to win his pivs, to put down a very good amount of damage, but also be a leader in the objective as well. Like, he just has so much responsibility on his hands, and a lot of people don't appreciate that, because even when he's not topping as far as damage or kills, he's still up there as a secondary slayer, secondary damage, tertiary, but also leading an objective, which I think is so important for this OpTic Gaming roster. To me, Legend might be the most important player on the squad, but I'm not ready to have that conversation. I will talk about this OpTic versus FaZe, because this is a very, very important matchup in which Renegade once again steps up in the kills department, and his teammates in Formal and Legend, the main damage dealers. You have Formal doing good in the kills, amazing in the assist. Legend, amazing in the kills, very good in the assist as well. About even when it comes to the damage, really across the board here. And to me, what does matter is the objective. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but fairly even between Formal and Legend. And then capture the flag stats. Once again, Legend doing his damn thing in the capture the flag. And then, of course, we have the strongholds as well, where very even between Formal, Legend, and Bound. When I'm ranking the players on FaZe, I put a little bit of heavy emphasis on, I think with FaZe, I'm going to put a little bit heavy emphasis on Lucid, because I just thought consistently the amount of damage that he was doing above everybody else was really impressive to me in some of those series. And then with OpTic, I'm going to put a little bit more heavy weight on Legend with doing the objective, doing the kills, doing the assists, kind of similar to Formal, but just a little bit better when it came to the objective department. I'm going to put it like Legend, Formal, and Renegade. And in that order. And you already know I gotta have one of my Shopify Rebellion boys up in there. So let's, I want to. We'll say I want to. Let's see if we can actually fit them in here. Shopify Rebellion. I only saw one scrim for them, so this is gonna be tough. they have played a little bit since, but over the last week, they've been slow with the scrims. They played complexity. They played Envy at least. Let's check out this Envy scrim. So with this Envy scrim, we have World 2 slaying the freak out, and Last Shot being that main damage dealer that he is. Very good in the kills department, topping out in the assists. These are the stats that we've grown to expect to see from Last Shot, while also doing extremely good in the objective department as well. Scrolling down, wait, hold on. Damn, Psycho was playing, God bless. 348 seconds of oddball time throughout this entire scrim. Yo, Psycho was manning the ball. That was his ball. Capture the flag stats. We got Royal 2 with the most steals. Love that. And then of course we have Strongholds. Last Shot doing a lot of the work as far as secures, but I will say Psycho as far as captures, very, very good. Love that out of Shopify Rebellion. We will pay attention to some. I mean, there was some other scrims that went on, 6, 7 days. Actually at this point, 8, 9 days ago. We'll look at it a little bit here. Cycle. Ooh. All right, Cycle. Somebody said Cycle's been flying recently. Love that. Oddball stats. Look, dude, again, Cycle, very good in the oddball, dude. Last Shot with 11 steals. Damn, that's a lot. Jeez. And Strongholds pretty even across the board. Cycle doing very good as that. I mean, that the consistency in not only slaying out and max damage, but also doing the most oddball for Shopify Rebellion, to me, is extremely, extremely impressive. I love that on a Cycle. We'll take a look at, I guess, this other Envy scrim. Yeah, sure. We'll take a look at that for our last. Wait, is that the one we saw already? That was the one we saw. This is the new one. And wow, almost dead even as far as the kills between the 4 players. Love to see that. Damage looking very good. Last Shot and Cycle doing their thing. And then we go down to the oddball time. This time it was Last Shot doing most of the ball work there. Wow, that's a lot. 250 points, a lot of ball time as well. Cycle did go crazy though with the 348 seconds. Capture the flag. Royal 2 again with the most steals. Okay, Royal 2, I see you. Royal 2 playing a little bit more objective on the flag side of things. And then captures fairly even across the board. Yeah, when it comes to Shopify Rebellion, I think I put Cycle a little bit ahead of Last Shot, but that really does feel like a coin toss there with how we can kind of rate things. And I'm trying to think. The only other team I want to give a shout out to that I think we kind of have to is Complexity, man. I don't know if you guys have been watching, but we got to show some love to Complexity. Complexity 18-2 redemption, crazy. 13-0-10 takes 6 out of 17 games against Envy, very good. Beat out Space Station Gaming a week ago. Very good. Even taking 5 off of 18 from Shopify Rebellion. Bro, like, I feel like since Complexity have signed this new roster, I feel like we gotta pay attention. And I don't know if they're not gonna make the top 5. No, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Nobody on Complexity is making the top 5. But what I will say, an honorable mention, why not? I think we gotta take a player and put them in the honorable mentions. And King Nick. King motherfucking Nick. 222 kills, leading the entire lobby by far. 69,000 damage out of the freaking King. Love that out of King Nick. That looks really good. As far as in the oddball department, Cherished having most of the oddball work. Mental not too far behind them. In the flag game, Ryan with by far the most steals. And then in the Strongholds game, fairly even as far as captures. King Nick with a slight advantage there. We'll take a look at maybe one or two more scrims. Let's see. See what like against OpTic. Who's been stepping up against OpTic Gaming? That really matters. Again, King Nick, this time Cherished, very close behind them. Cherished actually leading as far as slays, but a little bit behind in the damage. That's because King Nick had 37 more assists than he did. Very good as far as right now. It's looking like King Nick might be my runaway when it comes to an honorable mention here. Ryan Noob and Menzel doing big time oddball work. Ryan with 250 seconds across that entire scrim. Capture the flag stats. What do we got? How many? 19 secure. What the hell? Ryan Noob again. He's always in that base being like a Pistola Knight, like freaking flanker, really pulling enemy lines. A lot of times when he's getting these steals, like they're not even meant to be a flagpole to get across the map. They're meant to distract the enemy team. A lot of them are. And then Strongholds. Again, King Nick and Cherish. Love to see that. And we'll take a look at one more from Complexity. Let's look at the one that they beat SSG. And the one that they beat SSG again. Oh wait, this is actually the one I saw already, actually, I think, right? Yeah, this is one I already saw. Let's bring up when they beat Redemption. And again, dude, are we seeing what King Nick is doing right now? Brother. 375 kills. Again, by far, by far above everybody in the lobby. Damage has been damaging. 115,000 damage. In the objective department. Even doing the objective, I mean, obviously not the most oddball time, but still up there compared to those slang stats. Still up there. Dude, I think King Nick is our honorable mention, bro. I think King Nick, I think we have King Nick. I've been loving what Complexity have been looking like. I want to give a shout out to to some of the teams here. I think we give King Nick an honorable mention. I think we give King Nick an honorable mention. I don't see why we shouldn't. I want to give SSG some love. I really do, but I think SSG had a very slow week. Honestly, I think SSG has just had a really like I feel like what we have right now, I don't think there's any room for us to make a spot for SSG. Like right now, I think I have maybe Legends my number one player. I mean, you could really make a big argument for anybody on OpTic. I think I have Legends my number one player. We put maybe Lucid at number 2 right now. Doesn't actually look right. Not in love with that. Let's see what it looks like here. Not in love with that Lucid pick at number 2. I mean, this seems like this seems like a cop out way of doing it because I think we just mix up OpTic and like one OpTic, one FaZe, one OpTic, one FaZe, one OpTic. That's like a cop out way to do it. I don't know if I love that though, and especially with the way that Renegade played on LAN as well, bro. I wonder if I mean, it feels weird to put 3 OpTic players in the top 3, like first, second, and third. That feels weird. I don't like that. I don't like that. Hmm. I like this more. I feel like you could swap Renegade for Formal because what Renegade has done in the kills department, like his efficiency stats are through the roof. Like even doing it with like the way he gets his kills with the least amount of damage, like I feel like you can swap Renegade for Formal. My only thing is I love what Formal's been doing in the damage department and like sneakingly doing a lot of objective as well. Like sneakingly doing a lot of objective. Um the problem is that you know what? I feel like Legend has done what Formal has done in the damage and the objective department just a little bit better. And then somebody has to pick up on that damage. So I think we do swap Ren. Even though I think you make a good argument for these two. Which kind of leads me to wanting to put 3 in a row. But I wanna split that up a little bit here. And I think Lucid has been very comfortable on his new FaZe roster. I think we could do something like this, really. I think we do something like this. I think we keep last shot in the honorable mentions. I mean, just consistently damage, objective time. You know, I can make a good argument where he could be in that 5th place spot. Yeah, something like this. I want to give King Nick some love. I think Complexity have just been that good. I feel bad because I don't have a Space Station Gaming player in the mix. We'll take a quick look at Space Station Gaming. I just feel like Space Station Gaming haven't looked that good right now. Good God, though. Hold on. Because if Stellar's still putting up stats like this, we got whoa. Even though I haven't liked what I've seen from SSG, I love that 413. I'm happy we checked this out. Wow. That is serious work. That is serious slaying. We'll check Ether Game, even though I'm not going to put too much weight into that. Again, serious work. Hold on. They lost the scrim against Complexity, I know, but this time Falcon is stepping up. But dude, Stellar just be holding forward on him, bro. Stellar just be holding freaking forward on him. And then this was that qualifier. I almost forgot about that qualifier. I mean, that against Redemption was impressive. I wish they would have done it against like FaZe or Shopify Rebellion. But I think it's good enough to put in the honorable mentions. If he would have done that against FaZe or Shopify Rebellion, I would have put him in top 5 automatically. Yeah. I like this list. I like it a lot. I think we can make a really good argument where we can have 3 OpTic players in the top 3, but I like splitting them up a little bit. And I think Lucid has been really good. I want to give some love to Cycle. I think Cycle has been consistently great. Especially especially since like boot camp from Arlington on, Cycle's been consistently great, but hasn't made a top 5 list just yet. So we definitely want to sneak him into the top 5 here. I'm liking where we're at. I'll be honest. I am liking where we're at right now. We're gonna clip it and ship it. This is our list right now. Legend number 1, Renegade number 2, Lucid 3, Formal 4, Cycle 5th. We have Last Shot, Stellar, and King Nick in the honorable mentions right now. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it like this, and I'm sure by next week we'll have another list where we'll probably mix this up a lot. But this is where we're going for now. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your top 5. It took us almost 30 minutes to get here, but we got to your top 5. This is it. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by the stream live. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Interact with the algorithm so it pushes out to more people that might enjoy this type of content. And a huge shout out to Neba for sponsoring this month's stream, whether it's the latest and greatest titles or even some of the classics like Expedition 33 and Halo MCC. You can get your games for much less than what's going on in the market, plus earn cash back on most of your purchases. They even have add-ons like Halo Infinite credits and V-Bucks and all that good stuff. Stop paying full price for your gaming needs. Check out Eneba. I'll have my link down below. Check it out. It's Why Not Be. If you don't see the link that says Why Not Be Casting, don't click on it. Click on the one that you see Why Not Be Casting. I'll have it in the link down below. And until next time, peace out.